Well, now, here we are. Today is Saturday, and we arrived home from Funchal last Wednesday. After being 4 days at sea, we arrived back into Portimao, safe and sound. We had a nice eventful crossing. Started off windy, beautiful, then it kind of calmed down, we motored. Then we got 2 days straight of beautiful weather. Sea calmed down from 2.5 meters down to less than a meter, and the wind got up like the perfect 15 to 20 knots. The boat was bopping along at 7 to 8 knots, 2 days straight, 2 days and 2 nights without touching the sails. And then the wind dried up. We had problems with the engine. We had an overheat situation because it wasn't drawing enough water in from the sea. You could tell because in the exhaust there was just the odd splash out when it should have been regular. Every time it overheated, we went at it to see what we could do, change the impeller. Then we sailed for a while, let it cool down, started it up again. Next time it overheated, Dennis, they got in there and he stripped out the water pipe out of it. They tried the water straight from the freshwater tank on the boat. That didn't make any difference. Then we got the hose straight into the engine without going through anything else. When the water hose returns to our engine from the sea, as the water comes in, it goes through a water filter first and then it goes through the refrigeration system. That's all a draw. And then back into the engine. So we skipped all that, put it straight into the engine, and it worked a treat. And then of course, once we had it all organised, the wind came back and we were able to sail home anyway. So after we got home, Rum the mechanic came up the next morning, had a good look at it, the whole thing, and it was heartbreaking. It turned out that we had a loose water pump belt. There's a belt on the back side of the engine that you don't really notice it, and I know very little about engines, which is no excuse really because we should know these things, but the belt naturally gets loose over time, and all it really needed was to be tightened, which of course someone was bringing the water in at full whack. It would drive the water through the refrigeration system, no problem, back into the engine. But in our case, of course, it wasn't working at full whack, so we had a problem. Anyway, we're back. This is the finale. I hope you enjoyed the video. It's the last one in the series, Saoirse Sailing the World Season 3. I hope you enjoyed the whole thing. I'll post a synopsis of it next week. I'll put up something like just clips of everything, so as that it's a shortened version for people who just couldn't be arsed to watch the whole thing. And I hope you enjoy it. Cheers. Cruise ship day in Funchal. Very fucking overcast though. Not sure what's going on, but all the trees are at being lit all along the front of the Marina Avenue. Maybe something to do with Carnival. Wow, beautiful. We think this is our last day in Funchal. We're just in our last shop, getting everything ready for the trip. We're expecting the lads, Louise and Dennis, to arrive about 5, so we're just out for a walkabout. And it's Carnival in Funchal. Morning. It's Friday the 17th of February and we are getting ready to make our hop back to Portimao. The Yanks went home last week, so there's just myself and Jared and Benny on the boat, and it's a 4-day trip. We're expecting it to be 4 days. Obviously we're hoping we'll do better, maybe 3.5 days, but it's a long trip for just myself and herself. So we have looked for crew to see if we could get anybody interested in coming back with us for the run home. And Dennis, the menace, the guy who did our standing rigging, and Louise have volunteered. So yeah, we're covering their flights and transport and etc. So they're coming down today. We're expecting them in at about 5 o'clock this evening. Myself and the foal have been just cleaning her up. We have her full of diesel. We've washed the boat down, and so we're going to go out there and do a little shop, and we're expecting the lads in at about 5, and then we'll go out for dinner tonight. Probably a feed of Guinness just to get us going, and then early in the morning we head off, and we're really looking forward to it. So fingers crossed. The weather window looks great. The sea at the moment is about 2.5 meters out there, but we're expecting it to fall off as we travel north from Madeira to Portimao. Winds are going to be light according to the forecast. We'll get a good start, and hopefully there'll be a little bit more wind than what is forecast. Like it's saying around 10 knots, less than 10 knots, and we could do it a little bit more than that just to give us a push. And this is it. This is the last leg of our season 3 2023 trip. It's been a great blast. We left Portimao, we went to Culatra, down to Ayamonte, Mazagon, Cadiz, Barbate, into Gibraltar, across to Tangier, down to Rabat, Mohamedia, into Lanza, out of Lanza into a port on the south of Lanzarote, across to Fuerteventura, down to the bottom of Fuerteventura, across to Gran Canaria, travel on to Tenerife, La Gomera, up to La Palma, and then back up here to Madeira. We've been here for 2 weeks, and Madeira is beautiful. It's a bit expensive, and so we're ready to go home, and it's been a blast. Getting ready to go tomorrow morning, we hope, but we had to leave our bark. It's what they do around here, so yeah, just a little reminder on the wall that we were here. There are hundreds of those. Hundreds.
Benny, relax. Benny is taking advantage here because the guys have arrived. As you can see, there's Dennis and there's Louise, and we've all been in Moynihan's for the night drinking Guinness, so we're having a really good time, and Benny is taking advantage. He's just...
Isn't it, Benny? See it? Huh?
Oh, Benny.
Oh, Benny.
Benny, we need to relax a bit. So we're just in from the pub, and our first thought was, let's leave now. Let's just untie the boat and go. However, yeah,
Right now.
but we've had too much Guinness, have we, Dennis?
A little.
Just a little bit.
Yeah. And now we have Saoirse.
Yeah, now we're having Saoirse, yeah,
Yes.
out of the tins. Yeah.
Yeah.
Beautiful company, lovely people. They're so nice. We were just discussing how nice Saoirse are.
Yeah. It's nice. Good.
Look at me. Super the Bach are the company, Saoirse. Oh my god. And I'm going to say no more about the fucking thing, because when I post this, there's going to be trouble. Some is going to be upset.
Big time.
Yeah.
But look at it. Look at your tin.
My tin. Yeah, I'm drinking Saoirse. There's nothing wrong with the product. The product is fine.
Just we just deliver.
Yeah. We're not going to say nothing word about it. Nothing.
Okay, it's Saturday the 18th. There's a bit of a buzz on this morning because we're going from there. We're going to sail across here, all the way up, all the way up to Portimao. 4 days of it.
Slipping the lines for the last time.
Last step, Jardine. We leave this dock. The next stop is Portimao.
Woohoo! Bye bye, Madeira. It's been a long 17 days.
Them working, look, nobody's ever seen them working before. Yeah, 17 days we were here.
Beautiful.
It was great, and the weather was shit all weekend, of course, today.
Beautiful.
It's beautiful today. And there's carnival tonight, and where are we going? We're going to fucking sea. Wow. What can we do, eh?
Good.
Sailors.
I'd stay here, but Dennis's wife was on the phone last night. She said, make sure he's at sea right now, if not sooner. I need him back, she said, quickly. Bye-bye, Madeira. You were very beautiful. All videoing each other here this morning is great. The intrepid explorers set out to sea from Madeira. We've got some help. That's Louise. Beside me. There's Dennis. And there's Geraldine. We've just left Madeira. Okay, so we came out and we discovered we had no autopilot again. And the reason being that we had no speed. And the problem is that the little speed gauge, which is a little wheel, which is up there under the floor, and it's in a through hull, just forward of the mast, was stuck. So the little wheel doesn't turn. What happens is, you sit in a marina for 16 or 17 days, something gets in there and grows on it, it stiffens up, and then it just won't speed. And without speed indication, the autopilot won't work. So it meant, there we are there now at the moment, that we're doing a shade under 6 knots, 5.8, and the autopilot is on. So we just, I pulled the floorboards, pulled up the little wheel, cleaned it with the sink brush, good stiff sink brush, and we popped it back in, and luckily it came on. So it should be good now. Once it's up and running, generally speaking, it won't jam again until you stop and leave it sit idle for a while, and then the problem repeats. But we know what it is, we can deal with it. No problem.
What time is it?
It's 7:30.
7:30. So we left at 10 o'clock this morning. Here we are anyway, the stars are coming out. And the battery is going to go in this, so I'm going to have to charge it. And we're on until 11 o'clock. And then Dennis takes over. Good night. Even Benny is going to bed now.
It's day 2 of our trip home from Madeira to Portimao, and we're going at a snail's pace. It's a nice day though, the sun is out. It's 1:45 in the afternoon. It was kind of a rough enough morning really. The sea is all messed up and we're fighting our way against it. We're doing like 3.5, 4 knots. We can do a bit of sailing if we turn 95 degrees towards Morocco. We can get 5.5 knots, but then we're we're like 40 degrees off course. So it's nonsense. So we're just plodding along, and we're still enjoying it. We're just relaxed. This is all you can do. We just had a bit of lunch. The boys are in bed. They're having a bit of a snooze. Night watches went great. There's really nothing else to tell. It's all happening. There's the sea. It's after settling down a lot. But what little breeze there is on the nose, and the sea is against us as well. But look, we're hoping. The forecast is that it will settle as we go. Today is Sunday, and we're still hopeful, kind of, that we might be in late Tuesday or early Wednesday. But if we keep going like this, it could be late Wednesday or early Thursday. We'll have to just wait and see what happens. There's nothing more we can do. Alright, Mrs. C? Oh, good. And Benny's up there, look, he's having a scene as well. So yeah, it's our slowest trip of the whole thing since we started, but sure, look, so what? We're heading for home, and we're kind of, we're elated by it, you know, we're looking forward to getting back. Minutes to 10 in the morning, and it's day 3 on our trip home to Portimao. Yeah, it's day 3, and we've had a fairly eventful overnight. Well, actually, I suppose it was calm enough in the end. The sea has settled down, as you can see, but we had problems with the engine. The engine overheat alarm went off at about 7 o'clock last night, and so we stopped the engine. There was only very light wind. We were able to do a small bit of sailing, sort of well off course, but we were still moving for a while. We topped the engine up with coolant, and we tried it again, and the same thing happened after about 30 minutes the second time. Engine overheat. The alarm goes off. So we stopped the engine. At this stage the wind was dead. There's no wind, so we're flopping around the place. We let it sit for half an hour, started it again, kept it at very low revs, and it ran for about an hour, I suppose, and then the alarm went off again. And so we were left in a situation where we were trying to sail off course. We got like 1 knot off course. There was just very light wind, and at that we were heading back towards Mohamedia in Morocco. And but we just did that for the hour and a half. Started her up again, and this time she ran for about an hour. Engine overheat alarm again. Had a look at the engine, had a look at all the pipes. Everything seemed to be connected. She is putting out water, but it just doesn't seem to be a lot. Exhausting. So it's probably something to do with that. We let it sit this time for about 2 hours. It was my shift on. And then I ran it, and it's actually after running all night since. I opened the steps below and let air in, and when Dennis was on his shift, he opened his window, took out the side panel and left the air in. So it hasn't overheated, but then we're not really driving it either. And we're tipping along towards Portimao. We're doing 4 knots average, I'd say. Hope that. So it could take a while to get there, but we're still at it. We're waiting on some wind. Hopefully we'll get wind between now and when we get to Portimao, which will give us that big push that we're waiting for, and we'll drive on then. So that's it for this morning, boys and girls. Update day 3. Just a reminder as well, there's a big weather front moving down the Atlantic, down the coast of Portugal, and we're expecting that to hit along the Algarve coast around Thursday afternoon. So I'm kind of glad now we left Saturday. We left 1 day earlier than we had intended, and so it means that even if it takes us the bones of 5 days to get home, we should still be in by midday Thursday. And at the moment we're still thinking 4 days might do it, you know. But this first 2 days we averaged 100 nautical miles a day. So at 500 nautical miles, that's the full 5 days. But then it really has been dead. We've been plodding along now 2 days at 4 knots, 5 knots. So at some point, we're hoping that the wind will come up and off we'll go.
Star.
Is 7 in the AM. Technically, we don't finish day 4 until 10 o'clock. We're 40 miles off the coast of Portugal. We're a little up, sort of heading towards Faro at the moment because we're trying to milk what's left of this wind to get us in. And then we're going to make a turn in about 2 hours down towards Portimao. I'm just after waking up, you can tell. Back on for my morning shift, 7 o'clock until 10. Technically I'll be on for the rest of the day now. Had my 3 hours sleep. We've been doing it in 3 hour cycles, myself and Dennis. And we're nearly there. All good.
Well, Mr. Campion, hit the road for Cork.
Hit the road for Portimao back, fast as you can.
And how many hours out are we?
6 hours away.
Yeah.
We think 36 nautical miles. If we can make a belt for it. 34 now. Woohoo! And we're doing 6 knots. Okay. We'll be in by about 4 o'clock.
Ish.
We got some company. Heading in towards Portimao, and we're about to cross that main shipping lane. There's a tanker gone away up there. You can probably barely see him at this stage. But they're passing along this zone. We're still about 30 miles, 32 miles off the coast. But we're heading for home. Herself and myself. We're delighted to be going home, aren't we?
Yeah, we're ready.
Yeah. And it's been a major blast. We left on the 9th of November, and it is now, Jesus, what date is it? 22nd of February.
Yeah.
22nd of February, imagine. And it's a beautiful sunny day. A beautiful day to be going home. And we're looking forward to it. We're going to crash, obviously. Yeah. Let's see him on. We're going to catch up. She's the Irish Rover, I think is what she's talking about. I don't know. You can never figure out what Jardine to be talking about. She doesn't actually tell you, she just says something, the other.
You're the crew, I said.
Yeah. Oh, you mean like Stuart and Natalie and Jacob?
I mean the other crew.
Oh, you mean Paul and Senna? See, it could be anybody we thought about. I get it now, she's talking about the show. Of course, they were brilliant. The Irish Rover crew are always brilliant. We love them dearly. And yeah, it's all over. We're wrecked. There she is. Home sweet home. Pray the Russia.
Speedies! Vita, vita, vita! That's the way to come home. A welcoming committee of canoes have been sent out to meet the intrepid explorers as they arrive back into Portimao. Alright, Mr. C? Home again? How cool is that, huh? How cool is that? 3 months and 2 weeks since we left. Today being the 22nd of February, and we left here on the 9th